Could eating pasta be considered an anti-fascist act? Why are we even bringing this up in the first place? Two reasons. One, the recent election of far-right Italian leader Giorgia Meloni, and two, the guy who many view as her predecessor, Benito Mussolini. Many consider Meloni and her conservative coalition of parties neo-fascists certainly Italy's most far-right leadership since Il Duce himself. It goes without saying, fascism is up. Fascist leaders dictate nearly every facet of citizens' lives. What they can read, who they can socialize with, what political ideology or religion they can follow, and in 1930s fascist Italy, that included what they could and couldn't eat. Here's where the pasta comes in, and it starts with a group of Italian artists and thinkers called the Futurists, some of the members of which were loosely connected to fascism. So the Futurists' whole MO was that they loved, well, the future, including technology, industry, youth, violence, anything shiny, new, and radical. They rejected what they saw as a stagnant past that gave way to boring modernity and longed for a more revolutionary future. They were also notoriously weird, and some, like our next guy, were known to bullshit a time or two. That bullshit is futurist Filippo Tommaso Marinetti, who ends up writing the Manifesto of Futurist Cuisine. This is where he rails against Italians' love of pasta, calling macaroni, for example, a symbol of oppressive dullness, plotting deliberation, and fat-bellied conceit, and blaming pasta for the country's weakness, pessimism, inactivity, nostalgia, and neutralism. He wanted to outright ban it in favor of rice. Roughly around this time, Mussolini took an anti-pasta stance as well, but he never issued a ban on it like Marinetti called for. His reasoning also had a nationalistic bent, stemming from the desire to make Italy self-sufficient by encouraging its citizens to eat rice, which was easily grown in the country, and to produce its own durum wheat instead of relying on foreign imports. Mussolini favored rice so much that he created a rice board and designated rice days, and offered free rice recipes, with rice being shipped to cities and towns by the truckload. In the end, the idea of a fascist Italy avoiding pasta because it made its citizens dull and dumber was never really embraced. The relationship between Marinetti and Mussolini was hot and cold throughout the 30s and 40s, and even fellow futurists thought that Marinetti's ideology around futurist food and how to eat it was foolish.